I just got our way in.
We were in that building for no less than 2-3 minutes.
There's a cop out there in the parking lot.
That's when we realized, like, all right, this is really serious now. Like, they are hunting us. They're hunting for us.
This is ridiculous. I know, we'd have to like cut across that field though.
We were cooked any way we worked it. That's it. It's over. JaredCokerUrbex, it ends there. Ladies and gentlemen, I have an absolute treat for you here today. I'm here, my venue of choice is an abandoned house not too far from where I live. Every time on those rare occasions I have something just crazy happen that warrants doing a video like this, you all seem to love it. So you know the drill. What we're going to do here is I'm going to walk you through the footage you're about to see, and I'm going to give you the context and continue telling the story here in real time, or future time that is. I've talked about it, I've alluded to it, but you still have yet to actually see the video, so here it finally is. That other crazy time I got like seriously caught last year in 2023. Now a little bit of context before we begin here. The timing of this came not too long after my Louisville trip, and that trip really tested me. I was an insane trip. If you haven't ever seen those videos, it's probably some of the wackiest set of videos that I ever had to work crazy hard to get. After that, I kind of wanted to take a break from a big road trip tours kind of video format. So me and just some buddies from work started just going to various rural Kansas spots. Just for me, in my mind, it was kind of like a break from like serious hardcore exploring rather than just going on a trip and getting it all done at once. It was just kind of a back to the roots of the channel where I just would go out every week and film something. I kind of figured that would be easier. That's what I thought anyway, until I took a little too easy. The footage you're about to see is basically me just doing everything wrong, making just so many just stupid, careless errors, because in this era of my time on the channel, exploring just everything, I wanted to take it easy, and instead I just took it way too easy.
And we're back. It's the boys. And we're back. It's the boys once again.
I hope they can hear us.
Today we are about to explore this abandoned nursing home which shut down back in 2018, and I found articles that it closed because there was proven neglect there, like physical, mental, like verbal, and everything. So I think that's the key reason why this place shut down. Otherwise it was just run really like messily and like just haphazardly. So to my knowledge, it hasn't been used for anything else since then, so it should be still pretty fresh. It's nightfall out here, so we don't even know if there's a way in yet, so we're gonna go around and look. Hopefully we find something.
There's so many people in this
Yeah. We're next to like an active nursing home.
We're a little worried because we just did our intro right next to an active place, so we're afraid people were even here in our plan.
Immediately off the bat, you can hear in the background while we're doing that intro, like people murmuring and talking nearby us. That's because we did the intro to this video right next to this nursing home that had some of its residents and people just kind of out on porches or patios, whatever it was. So we were not only practically within earshot of people explaining what we're about to do, go sneak into this other abandoned place across the street, but at one point you can actually hear someone from, sounds like across the street, shout out, "What you guys doing?" And I think the other two heard it, but I cannot believe I didn't hear that in real time, because it comes so clearly through that camera when he says it, like, "What you guys doing?"
Physical, mental, like verbal, and everything. So
obviously, like, there's already people all around us. Just, we didn't have the element of stealth on our side already. Just in this ridiculous place, I chose to do the intro parked right next to this pop-in active place, right in front of the abandoned place we're about to go in. So that was obviously immediately mistake number one.
There it is. Pretty fresh looking. Will it open? It's chained. I'm willing to bet if we go around back, there may be like a broken window or something.
Yeah, some lady's watching us right there, though.
Oh, really? No, she's just messing with the door. We should keep our lights off. If we go around to the back, that's usually where stuff is. There's no one around back here who could see us, at least. You know, it almost looks like we could just slide open one of these windows, though. Do they move at all? Grr. Man, this one's sealed up.
Replace the doorknobs.
Oh no. It's like we get in through there. It's like there's a secret underground.
I would shut that.
We should probably shut it back up. Terrible stealth. Simply awful.
Damn, we can't get in here.
There wasn't anything.
That's a fat spider. I'm not touching it.
I'll touch it. The spider's dead anyway. Yeah. You can see all down there though. We're failures.
It kind of looks like some elderly abuse.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Boys,
Okay, we made something shake.
I just got our way in. Did anyone see that over there? I say let's go.
My papers leak.
Turn the lights on. We got it.
Alright, so, you know, you just saw us do our whole little spiel, go around, look for a way in, and then I found a window that could open somehow. But let me walk you through just some more of the mistakes we made along the way there. First off, I already told you about how many people were around within eye shot and earshot of us. So there were already plenty of witnesses who saw us just go right up to this building from the front of it. And there's even a part in the footage you can hear Caleb say, there's a lady across the street watching.
Yeah, some lady's watching us right there, though.
We think that's the critical point where it all went wrong right there in retrospect, but just keep that in mind. Obviously, we went around to the back, and yet we're still like, we figured we'd be alright shining lights back there, but still, like, the building's not very big, so if you shine a light in a window like we were in that footage, people could probably see it right at the other side of the building anyway, on top of the fact that they're already watching us as it is. And then, of course, we're just making a ton of noise, just banging on that little ground opening grate thing. Just, we're not being careful at all. Like, we're just way too casual about it. Like, we think everything's gonna be fine. Like, oh, we've done this before, you know. It always turns out all right in the end, you know. And obviously, that's gonna wind up biting us later.
Oh god, it's so humid in here. How is it hotter in here than outside? On the front side, we should be careful in those front rooms. Like a cable or a TV would have been. There's not really any furniture in the rooms. Maybe it'll be stuff in like the lobby though.
Spider, bro.
What's that? What is that? Guys. That nursing home may have called the cops. There's a cop out there in the parking lot. No light. Guys. There's a cop going to the front door. We need to try to get out the side door. Let's go. This way. We need to get out of this area. Is there a fence here? Do you want to try to climb it?
Should we?
Can you hold this?
Yeah.
It's barbed wire, be careful. That's another cop car. Gotta run. You good? You alright?
So now, the moment we've all been leading up to, as a surprise to no one, boom, cops come. I barely edited anything out of the point we got in to when that happened because we were in that building for no less than 2-3 minutes, and immediately I look out a front window to see a suspicious looking set of headlights, and it's a cop car. So immediate panic, lights go off. I go back to another window just to see again, and I see a cop walking up to the very front door of the nursing home. Now we're on a side wing, so that's when we book it out that side door. We got crazy lucky that that thing even opened. We run around to the back of the building because we know the cops are coming towards the front, and that's where you hear us in the footage like getting over this little barbed wire fence. It's just like a little farmer's fence, and behind, you know, like the mowed grass of this property is just a bunch of tall, weeded fields.
Okay, we gotta walk around the block the long way. I think that lady did call the cops. They keep going away from the building. Too loud. Okay, there's another fence here.
Here, I got it. Alright, he's shining his light down.
Do I want to just duck down here?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way they'll be able to see us. This is ridiculous.
Look to your knees.
I'm afraid they may have like come around the building and like heard us crunching on the leaves and stuff. Oh God. Wow. You can really see like a flashlight going all over.
Then I would get down.
They don't know we're there though. The cops are just searching the building.
Yeah.
My issue is they're gonna know my car is there.
Yeah.
But do they know it's ours?
I don't know, I just saw a light right now.
It keeps flashing over there. Oh, there's a dude in the back of the property. What are the odds they bring in like dogs or anything?
No.
Do you think they would just for that?
Thanks, old man. So I think we should start walking down. Like get back on the road. Just walk to the car.
I know, we'd have to like cut across that field though.
Yeah.
There's no way we can go back towards that building. Look, I see there's lights in there right now. Are they inside or outside?
I don't know, but they're looking.
If we stand up and start moving, they're gonna hear us though.
Yeah. Put your camera away.
Yeah, that's probably smart.
And that is where the raw footage ends. Obviously, I cut a little bit out of that just so it wasn't just blackness and whispering the whole time, but to paint you a picture, we go probably like 50, 100 feet back. Now we're just in these tall fields with, you know, weeds up to our faces, and we kind of stopped for a while and watched from a distance to see what was happening around there, and we see flashlights everywhere. There's like 3-4 cops. They're in the building searching it. They're going around the back searching it. They didn't know we were out in the fields behind the place though, so we're just kind of spying on them from a distance, and that's when we realized like, all right, this is really serious now. Like, they are hunting us. They're hunting for us. You hear in the footage, Caleb says, just cut the camera.
Put your camera away.
Yeah. We don't want the camera light or anything else to be seen. Like, at this point, we're bailing on any sort of video. We're like, we just have to get out of here. So picture this is the nursing home, and this is the field we're out in the back. We have to just continue going through these farm fields, kind of parallel with the road that the nursing home sits on with the neighborhood, and then try to get back on the road and get out of there, out of sight from cops. The issue, of course, is because, again, like an idiot, I parked right next to it. So obviously the people who called the cops knew which car was mine, so even though we technically escaped without them catching us, they knew where we were going to go. The car. So we knew we were cooked either way. We were cooked any way we worked it. But we were committed to trying to go cut through these fields, come out down the street out of sight, go around the block, and try to get back to the car, and then see what happens from there. We kept walking through this field, and like I said, this is just barren, like, weedy fields, weeds up to our faces, just barbed wire fences marking property lines everywhere. So I can't remember if it was 1 or 2, but we had to jump bare minimum 2 or 3 other barbed wire fences just to keep going and make progress. But finally we emerged in this random neighbor's backyard down the street, out of sight from the cops, and then just went down the road, made a left, made another left, made another left, and sure enough got back to the road where my car was. Now again, We held back and waited from a distance away just to watch and realized we're cooked. The cops are not gonna go away, they're just gonna wait. They've got 3 cars there at least. It was 3 or 4 or something crazy like that. As we approached the car, I don't even remember seeing any cops because the bright flashing blue red lights were blinding, but like, we got in the car in front of all of it. They're all around in the parking lot of that place and the active nursing home on the street next to it. And we got in and drove away. And for a second there, we were all like at a loss for words, like, no way they're just gonna let us drive away like this. Like, we thought we were just gonna get away scot-free like that for a second. So we made a corner down the street, made a right, and boom, that's when one came out of nowhere from the other street, flipped on its lights and pulled us over. What ensued next was 40 minutes worth of just being talked to by cops, trying to like talk it down, like make them believe like we had like no bad intentions, like we just were in the neighborhood and we were looking at the nursing home. Just we tried to stick to the same story, but they had the witnesses and everything. Like they knew that it was us there, like trying to get in and everything. So there wasn't really going to be any getting out of it like that. Unfortunately, you will just have to take my word for this. Keithan in the footage did record the whole thing. He was like being that stereotypical, like kind of snobby, non-compliant kid in that situation, but he had his camera out. He recorded 40 minutes of the conversations. I kind of wish I had those recordings, but I'm not gonna lie or sugarcoat it. Him and Caleb used to be roommates and they had a bit of a falling out, and Keithan was definitely to blame for some things between that, so neither of us have seen or talked to him in a long time, but he's in this footage anyway. So obviously I don't have that footage from him, but 40 minutes of talking to cops, and finally they decide that they're gonna give us tickets, citations, whatever it is, and we're gonna have to appear in court. So I'm like, oh no, here we go again. This is Wichita all over again. I'm gonna have to go back to court. I'm gonna have to pay a fee, and now suddenly this thing is gonna be on my record again. And I was grateful that we didn't have to go to jail that night, but that entire ride home was just so dark and depressing in my mind. Like, I was just thinking the whole time, like, that's it. It's over. JaredCokerUrbex, it ends there. Like, me being the ringleader, like, I should have played it out better. Like, I already said multiple times, like, I did everything wrong. I was just so lazy with it. Just making every mistake that I felt so bad for getting them into that predicament. We had these little citations and we'd been told we were going to get something in the mail for our court date the month later. And I never got anything, and neither did the other two. And sure enough, the day of the court date came and we got all dressed up, drove all the way back there to where that place or that town was, and showed up to court, and we weren't on the schedule. We walked in, we said what we were there for, that it was today. They didn't have us in the system. So whatever charge they were gonna put us on that night, they just, for whatever reason, didn't go through with it. What a weight off my chest to get there and it just be nothing. I am assuming that it's because we never got anything in the mail confirming it. But like, we had our papers and everything, like we knew we were supposed to be there, or if you don't show up to court, you have a warrant for your arrest. So we weren't just gonna not go because we got nothing in the mail. But driving all that way for it to be nothing, what an incredible stroke of luck that the whole thing just went away, solved itself. And so a week after that, a week after the court thing being a big nothing, I was in Alabama. Doing that insane, ridiculous tour. I was going to do that trip regardless of the results, but if the results of that court date were bad, that was going to be my last tour ever. But I really don't know what else to say. Like, I hope you enjoyed finally seeing this footage. I hope you enjoyed the story of how this channel almost ended in tragedy for like, what, second, third time? But yeah, hopefully I take the lessons learned in what happened in this video and I apply it to all the others afterwards. You have to play it safe all the time. And this is a good example of what happens when you don't. But I hope you enjoyed once again, and I will see you in the next one.